Please click on the subscribe button so you get notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for my 5 flaming hot NFL Week 3 picks. Let's get into it. Number 1, the Browns -6.5 over the New York Giants. Deshaun Watson, if he can have a game similar to the one that he had last week, he just has to take care of the ball. The Browns defense should be able to carry them. Literally, I don't see the Giants scoring any real points. Their only real offensive weapon is Malik Neighbors. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. I think the defense for the Cleveland Browns is one of the best in the league. And also, they have great weapons. Jerome Ford is good. Nick Chubb, I think, is still a couple weeks away from returning. They got Amari Cooper and David Njoku. If Deshaun Watson can start finding his weapons, I think the Browns game is going to be a blowout for the Browns against the New York Giants. When it comes to the Ravens versus the Cowboys, I don't think the Ravens are going to go 0-3. I also know the Dallas Cowboys have an issue when they face a run-dominant offense, especially when they are that physical like the Baltimore Ravens. I know their defense has been struggling. It's definitely going to be a shootout in my opinion, but I think the Ravens, they're going to be able to muster out this win, especially because their season's on the line. They're desperate. The Ravens -1 is the side. I believe in two-time reigning MVP Lamar Jackson. The Ravens have enough weapons on both sides of the ball. Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews are great tight ends who can catch the ball. Bateman, feel like needs to get a little bit more opportunities, and they just need to feed the ball to Derrick Henry. Feed the ball to Derrick Henry. This is a Derrick Henry type of game, so feed the ball to Derrick Henry, and you guys should have no issues beating the Cowboys handedly. When it comes to the 49ers -6.5 over the Rams, take the Niners, take the points. Yes, I know Kittle is out. I know Debo is out. I know Trent Williams allowed a sack last week. I know CMC's injured, and he might not be back in the timeline that they set for him originally when they placed him on IR. That doesn't matter. I believe in Brock Purdy. I've seen what Brock Purdy can do, especially when the other weapons are struggling, even if they're on the field. I also believe that Jordan Mason is going to be able to carry the workload. This is a game and this is a rivalry that Kyle Shanahan has dominated over Sean McVay. Yes, I understand we have lost in the playoffs, especially the year that they won the Super Bowl. But Brock Purdy, I don't believe, has ever lost to the Los Angeles Rams in the regular season, and I don't foresee that happening. And I also think because the Rams are even more injury depleted, yes, Nick Bosa, there was a report that he's questionable, but we're getting Hufanga back this week. On the defensive side of the ball, we got all our dogs. We got Leonard Floyd, we got Devondre Campbell, we still got Fred Warner, who's playing at an elite level. Nick Bosa's still there. We got Javon Hargrave. Our corners, Diamador Lenore. We got Tre'Davious Ward. We're good. Jair Brown, I think he is one of the better safeties. He's still developing in his second year. Our defense is going to be able to stop the Los Angeles Rams. Shout out to the St. Louis Rams. And I also believe that Juwan Jennings, especially with Brandon Ayuk, are two solid best receivers on the team. Chris Conley, during the offseason, he was getting a lot of reps while Brandon Ayuk was away, so I'm assuming he might be the number 3 receiver this week. If not, they should also give Jacob Cowing a look. I think he might surprise and do amazing things, especially now that Debo's gone. He might be able to fit in that Debo role, especially because he is a speedster. So take the Niners, take the points. This is going to be a Brock Purdy shows up and shows out. The Rams are starting 0-3. It's not because Matthew Stafford is a bad quarterback. It is just because they are so injury depleted on that side of the ball. And they're just so injury depleted that I just don't see them being able to muster out a win against the 49ers or even keeping it close. Cardinals +3 over the Detroit Lions. I like the Cardinals at home. The head coach for the Arizona Cardinals is a defensive-minded head coach. I also like how Kyler Murray has taken care of the ball. In 52 pass attempts, he's thrown for 428 yards and thrown for 4 touchdowns, not allowed a pick. He hasn't fumbled the ball. I also don't really believe in the Detroit Lions defense. I think Kyler Murray, his dual threat capabilities, is going to be able to open up that game. Marvin Harrison Jr., I think he's going to have another tremendous game. He has 5 catches this season for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think this is going to be a great game for Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray. And I also, for some reason this year, Detroit, Jared Goff has struggled to take care of the ball. Every time he's thrown the ball 83 times and thrown 3 picks for 524 yards. So he's not only just throwing the ball and throwing picks, he's also dinking and dunking and still throwing interceptions, which is costing them. And I honestly am a strong believer in the Arizona Cardinals this year. I know they're a team in my division. If they're facing my Niners, you know who I'm going to pick. But realistically, my non-biased opinion, take the Arizona Cardinals +3 to upset Detroit. And then I got the Washington Commanders covering +7.5 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals get the win. Washington covers. Dan Quinn is a defensive-minded head coach. I believe he's going to be able to figure out a way to shut down the Cincinnati Bengals, especially because I believe T. Higgins is still out. Jamar Chase, I know he was limited in the offseason program. And yes, it's week 3, so he might be working out that rust, but they still don't have a run game. Dan Quinn, I believe, is going to be able to take away their one main weapon. If they can neutralize that, I think it's going to be a closer game. I think it'll be a 6 to 5 point game where the Bengals end up winning because Jaden Daniels is still figuring out the NFL game. But because Jaden Daniels is such a mobile, such a versatile quarterback in that aspect, similar to Lamar Jackson, he'll be able to get out the pocket. They got Terry McLaurin out there. They got a great running back. Take the Washington Commanders +7.5 to cover against the Bengals, but take the Bengals to win. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, those are my 5 flaming hot NFL picks for week 3 of this NFL season. Moving on.
Guys, have you heard? Shady Mob Productions is an official affiliate of HBO Max. Click on the link in the description and sign up so you can watch hit series like Hard Knocks, Game of Thrones, and House of Dragons. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.